Looks like Tom Cruise has some competition for the best runner in all of cinema history. Run, Lola! Run! Released in 1998 and is directed by Tom Tykwer, who has also directed such films like Deadly Maria, Winter Sleepers, The Princess and the Warrior, and Perfume, the story of a muckducker. And this film is starring Franca Potente and Mortiz Libtro. And the reason why we're talking about Run, Lola, Run today is because it was a PayPal recommendation from two of my biggest supporters on this channel, Mr. and Mrs. Rusted Beetle. I thank you both so much, so many times over these last couple of years, and my thanks continues, and I swoon over you. Thank you both so much for your continued support. I always love the recommendations that you send me, because they're typically films that I've always meant to see. I've just never gotten around to see them, and this is one of them. Our main character, Lola, receives a frantic phone call from her boyfriend, Mani, who is a messenger boy for a local gangster, and he was supposed to deliver a big bag of cash to his boss, but that bag of cash has gone missing. So Mani is panicking and figuring out what to do, so Lola decides to run to Mani to support him so they can figure out how they can escape or make the payment. And while she is running, she decides to stop by her father's bank to try to convince him to loan her the money, while in the meantime Mani is getting impatient and is seconds away from robbing a convenience store. And just a bunch of everything just doesn't fall into their lap, and then all of a sudden someone gets hurt and you think the film is over, but it's not over. The film resets itself, and we start all over again from the exact same point in the exact same situation. And this happens a total of 3 times, and I'm not gonna spoil exactly what happens in the movie, because I think the less you know, the better, but please know this is kind of like couple of short stories combined with each other to show everyone, hey, here are the different paths that your choices that you make in your everyday life can lead you down. And that's really the main focus, the main message behind this film. It's all choice theory. Every little choice has a certain butterfly effect that will affect your life and the lives of people around you. Which, of course, we all know, especially all of us superhero fans, we all know about the different possible universes that are out here, Crisis on Infinite Earths in the DC world, and we also got the multiverse over in the MCU. But this film came out in 1999, so, you know, hey, it did it before all that stuff, so there you go. I can't wait for the comments from all of the non-superhero comic book fans out there just saying like, okay, here's another Marvel fan who's talking about multiverse and bringing everything back to superheroes. This guy's a freaking idiot. I am an idiot, sir, but please don't waste your time. Just, you know, be polite and move on. You don't need to comment at all. That aspect of this movie, though, the going back and showing the different paths down, what happens with these characters, it is problematic for me, though, because the film feels like it is based in reality, even though there are some animated moments and some moments in here where it seems like she has the power of Banshee and she breaks glass by screaming, but it does have that realistic, that foundation of being based in reality here. So for us going back in time and retelling the story again and again and again, it kind of lessens it for me. Or at least it takes me out of it to the point where I'm like, well, if we just keep resetting, so the bad things that are happening to these characters, how this one path ends, and we go back and that it's just totally different and the characters are okay, why should I care? And whenever I ask that question, whenever I watch any movie, why should I care? That's when the movie loses it for me. If I have to fight to come up for a reason to care about the characters or the story, the film has not done its job for me. And if I check out, I check out. Maybe other people love this type of storytelling. Maybe they like this story. Maybe they like this film. Of course, I am in the minority. This film is pretty well critically acclaimed, but I'm just not getting invested at all. Franca Potente, who plays Lola, I think she does a great job as the character, and big kudos to her because she is running in this entire movie. This movie's called Run, Lola, Run, and she is doing that for the majority of the time. So I guess thank you for the title, for actually telling me and being truthful to what you're selling me on. I just want to know what the auditioning process of that was. Did a casting director like line up a bunch of actresses and like time them? Like, how fast can you run a mile? Go! Oh, that would be cruel, but that would be so much fun as a casting director. It'd be something different. If I was ever conducting an interview with Franca Potente, I would ask her, how great of a shape did you get in while shooting this film? Because you're running the entire time. You had to have been like in your peak shape that you've ever been in your life. Every single scene, every time the camera cuts, she is running. And part of me is like, I feel bad for you. Whenever I run, it sucks. I hate running. It's terrible. Her character, though, is a bit of a whiny little child, running to her father to be like, hey, give me money because I need it. I have my boyfriend and I love him, so give me money. Oh, you are just a whiny little character, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Even more reason for me not to care. And this movie had a very strange soundtrack of this very German techno beat, and just felt weird, felt creepy to me. Just kind of this, it felt like a heartbeat that kept going, and it was off for me. This whole movie is just off for me. It's not the worst thing that I've ever seen, and I do recognize that the storytelling, the message behind here, it is pretty fascinating when you look at it as a whole, but when you break down into the story and you present these characters to me, you present this whole situation for me of us going back in time and seeing this one other path and then this other path and then this other path, I go, well, if there's so many multiple paths, why the hell are you telling the story? Why the frick should I care? Yeah, just was a miss for me. Sorry. I'm gonna give Run, Lola, Run 2 out of 5 Blu-rays. Alright everyone, now because my favorite part of my video is where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next, and the next one I'm actually picking for myself because there's a pretty big film that was just released on Disney Plus this week, a movie called Eternals. A pretty divisive film from what I remember. Not everyone was a big fan of it, but I wanted to make my opinion known and put my foot down as to actually what this film is for everyone out there, just to settle all the debates. I'm here for everyone. So we'll check it out next time. So guys, if you've seen Run, Lola, Run, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Eternals. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.